again. There we go.
Okay.
I
Hi,
forgot the number.
everybody.
You're not the
You
person who does
forgot the
that.
number.
You don't
Hi,
do that.
everybody.
You don't do that.
uh,
In at number 55, a film that should definitely be discussed by three cis, straight, white men.
Yes, yes, the movie today's Laxmii, and I'm coming in not knowing what kind of ground I'm standing on having watched this and what, yeah, we'll get into it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to turn myself into an absolute prick, I think, but we'll see. It's Films and Filth. It's a Citizen Camp podcasting. This is Matt here.
it's Mark here to be turning into a prick. Yeah.
I wonder how long he does that. He's still doing it.
I'm
So,
here to rep Laxmii. Laxmii rules. Anyway, I
so
mean the
you like, yeah,
character.
okay, I did, yeah, I will just, hey, we're still
The
introducing.
character.
There's another person here.
Hello, I am Luke.
There's Luke. I was gonna say this one does of we've watched what four Indian movies or now with like musicals and stuff, and
Hmm.
this one has the best numbers, doesn't it?
This is kind of the best one. And I mean, musically, yes. I,
The
I think
music
there
was
are problems,
there are
but
problems.
but man,
I will say,
great.
better musical, better film, better trans representation than Emilia Perez.
Uh,
I
this
pretty
might
well
have
avoided
like
that
the
film.
this might have the best some of the best trans representation I've seen in a film period. So I'm like I was sort of bracing myself for, obviously early on it maybe makes you think that it's going to be just all problem all problematic, but then, it goes there. It you know
Yeah, again,
again, I'm I'm
I don't know
also
if
trying
this is
not to be
offensive or not, you know?
I think
And the cultural cha
trans
thing.
people are kind of sick of like just male actors playing trans women all the time. So I think they
So
wouldn't have liked that
yeah.
bit, especially when they kind of play it. I think they were trying to play it for a joke that he's really buff.
yeah,
Yeah.
or fighting style, just throwing haymakers and kicking people in the chest might be a problem,
Yeah, it's
but
like the infamous transphobic episode of IT Crowd.
I haven't seen that one, but I've heard of it. But
Yeah.
it's like at the same time, I want to see these people get kicked in the chest,
I do, yeah,
so I
I
am a
loved
little
it.
torn.
The comeuppance aspect was pretty good, yeah. Also, is
Yeah,
it
it's a
really a
revenge
horror
film.
film? It does say horror comedy, but I feel like there's not, I mean, there's supernatural stuff, but it turns
It
out to
wasn't
not really
scary or
be horror.
funny, but I was enjoying watching it.
Okay, that
And
sounds like a
then
good
when
take.
Laxmi appeared on screen, I was a little bit like, "Ee." But then also they did it pretty well, apart from
You once they had some depths to the story and stuff, right? I mean, that helps. By the way, before we get too much into the movie, I was talking to Mark. We have to have a merchandising spotlight today. Um,
hmm,
I went to Luke. It's near
Merchandising
Nagano Station.
spotlight.
It's in the building with the animate where they have the giant gachapon machine. You know what I'm talking
hmm,
about? You get the gachapon. It has a key, and then there's 200 lockers.
yeah.
Okay, so like 80% of it's like Sanrio and Disney stuff, right? Like I was like, oh, my daughter's birthday's coming up. Maybe I'll end up with like a big Kirby or something, or if it was
Hmm.
like if it's like a monster, that's cool too. There are a couple monsters, that sort of stuff. But only like two things that were embarrassing, right? So out of 200 things, maybe two of them would have been embarrassing. So of course it gave me one of those. So here's what I have from the giant gachapon. It's Data Live. Uh
Hmm.
Glitter and Glamours, Kotori Utsuka, thoroughly feminine features. This is a large-scale figure made with high-quality details, such as a slightly wrinkled clothing and the flowing hair. So, now I did look it up on eBay, or not eBay, yet Yahoo.
Hmm.
Seems like this thing sells for 5 or 6 thousand yen, so I could probably make my money back on it. But yeah, I just wanted a giant
Right.
Kirby, and but I didn't have my backpack with me either. So, Luke, you'll appreciate this. I'm walking down the street, kind of like trying to conceal it so I don't look creepier and shit. And then I have to go back to work, so look up the stairwell. No one's there. Run up the stairwell. Look around the corner. No one's at the locker area. Shove it in the locker. I lock the locker, which I never do. So
Coward. You know I would have strolled around with that thing with pride.
Yeah,
oh well, I
I would
showed it
have
to
held it.
Nash. I
So
I told the foreign teachers about it, and the ones that wanted to see it, they could. It was more like I don't want the Japanese staff to see me running around with it, you know?
so how much did you guys look up this film and why it is on the bad list?
I did a
Uh,
little bit, yeah. Pretty
I
much for
did
the
less
reasons
than
I
I meant
said. It's
to.
not funny enough or scary enough.
No,
And
it's
it's
I mean,
kind of but I think the main reason is because it came out in 2020 and it was like the Bollywood. What would it be? I can't think what the English language
it went
equivalent would be, but it was the film that everyone wanted to see in theaters and it ended up on streaming. So
it
I feel
went to
like
Disney Hotstar.
All of
One
India was locked in their house and watched it and then got pissed off with it.
Wonder Woman
Here
1984. I think
Yeah,
that's their
probably.
equivalent.
it it's more than that though.
Okay, what did I
Oh, I'm
miss?
A
sure,
big
but
it's a remake.
Oh,
It's
it's a
another
remake of
remake.
the director's own film in a different
Yes.
language.
Kanchana Muni 2, 2011. This is kind of interesting. Laxmii has a rating of 2.6 currently, and it's at 59,000 user reviews.
Hmm.
Mooney 2 is at 6.6 and it has 2.4 thousand reviews.
Hmm.
A part of this is that Lakshmi, spelled
Oh, it's a goddess
Lakshmi,
name as well, right?
yeah. And the original title of this film was Lakshmi Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't
they
want to
were
call it, you don't
pressured
want to
into
put bomb in your
taking the
film
bomb.
title.
They were taking the bomb out. They're pressured into taking the bomb out of it.
Hmm.
Also, in the original film, the character that is basically Asif was a different. It was a different character, and he was like afraid of ghosts. And
Hmm.
this film, they made him like the guy who's not afraid of ghosts, and apparently people absolutely hated that.
Hmm.
And also, I looked at that film a little bit. It looked cheaper, but it was definitely more of a horror film. It looked like scarier. There was like practical blood. The final showdown was just Lakshmi just like murdering that dude herself without like any, crowd of people. I feel like I really skimmed it quickly, but I feel like the trans representation was pretty similar. Like it
One
didn't
of the
didn't seem like it
reviews
was.
I saw was like, this is proof that adding money to a film doesn't make it better."
But
I
it
was
Uh-huh.
does
like,
give you a scene at the Burj Khalifa and a song about it.
"Yeah."
Yeah, and I could see that. I did not sit down and watch the entire. I'm not opposed to the idea of watching the entire film because I did end up enjoying this
Hmm.
overall. Um, I don't I I don't necessarily think it wasn't funny. I think that a lot of the actors themselves were funny. Maybe the material wasn't great, but
Other
I
reviews I
think
saw were saying like, "Oh, this guy's usually funny and he doesn't really give you his best stuff here."
Uh, See, I would say
yeah,
this film is more like, oh, that's funny, as opposed to, ha ha, ha, funny, right? Huh, that's funny. That's how this film's funny.
Hmm.
yeah. The stuff with the family I thought was like silly enough that I wasn't like mad at it or anything.
See, and yeah, there's so
But
much watching a film like this, which is like, how
Again,
much
for
am I
me, it
culturally
was
missing too?
yeah, like there was definitely a bit where it's like, "Oh, he's doing these things that are definitely female," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was female to put
I'm
turmeric
like,
on."
I was
yeah,
like,
to
hey, it
put
looks
turmeric.
okay in a sorry. I mean, it looks fine to me. But
Um,
yeah, there is a because they do point out like the family is
Yeah, there's
like
also the whole
Hindu, and
Muslim
then
Hindu divide
he's
thing.
Muslim, right? So,
uh-huh.
and then
I
I
think that
guess
had something to do with it too.
that might have had
Um,
something to do. And
that
that's
actor
stuff I
is not
knew,
Muslim.
right? I know stuff I know exists, but I really can't put any weight on because I just don't know enough because I'm not from that culture.
I don't know anything because my country deliberately doesn't tell us about that
Mine even more
because it's
so.
mostly our fault. We were just
I
like,
think my
we came to a place that kind
uh,
of predates the concept of a nation state. We ruled it for 200 years, and then when we gave it independence, we were just like, we'll draw a line here, and the Hindus can go this side and the Muslims can go that side. Okay, bye.
Don't worry about the gray area. Don't look at that.
Mm-hmm. Don't
Ignore the
worry about
gray
the
area.
families on the wrong side or being divided or split right down the
Bangladesh.
middle.
Um,
yeah,
hey,
we learned a little bit about Bangladesh. I think also the star Akshay Kumar. There was something in the trivia about how it was the first time he'd ever been in only one movie in 1 year. Like he's
Huh.
usually in three or four. So
well, that
people
is
might have been mad
2020.
about that even. Yeah, of course. But, it's like there has to be multiple reasons why 60,000 people came out to to vote this into oblivion, which like I don't know, aside from the possible problematic stuff, which
Well,
I'm not even
ironically, I
really
think the
oh,
problematic stuff is like the least of their concerns.
that was my first thought was like, are they just downvoting this because they hate seeing a guy act effeminate who this is their action hero? And I don't think that's the case,
No, I think
really.
they
Like,
because that was played like watching this film at first. You go, oh, okay, that's the joke, is he's been possessed by a woman and he's acting a bit effeminate. And then the fact
mhm.
that the woman is also a trans woman gets it into like such a strange place.
I wrote a lo-fi trans Beetlejuice. There was definitely a scene where Laxmi's confronting the family before we know her story, and it had very Beetlejuice vibes to me. Like
Yeah, I it's like I like the fact that I guess I go into this bracing myself to be like
I was bracing myself
um
for a 2 hour 20 movie.
for how conservative Indian culture might be, and it's like I kind of feel like I got educated, which is a good thing.
Can you
Hmm.
educate the listener as to the story of this movie?
Okay. Lakshmi was disowned by her parents for being trans. She later is taken in by a kind Muslim named Abdul Chaka and his disabled son, and she herself takes in a younger trans girl named Geeta. Together, they use their life savings to buy land where they plan to build a school, hospital, and housing center for trans people. But Girja Properties usurped their land, and she has to go knock down their sign and beat the shit out of all of them. Girja did not know she was trans and then apologizes so they're not cursed. He says he will return the land, but this was actually a ruse so they could murder her with the largest knife in the world while she picked up the papers they'd strewn about. Abdul shows up immediately, and upon seeing Lakshmi, he starts beating the shit out of everyone too, and then he also gets stabbed. Then his son is tricked into shooting himself somehow. But it turns out they are actually cursed because all three of them possess Asif, a guy who has ironically made it his job to disprove ghosts exist, and is in town to reunite his wife with her family for their 25th anniversary. Her family's wedding
Yeah, her
anniversary.
parents'
Uh,
25th.
her parents, yes. After he gets some cursed dirt from her grave sprinkled on the lemongrass plant he makes tea with, Lakshmi makes good use of Asif's big strapping body and goes around getting up in everybody's face and getting revenge, killing members of Girja's family. Asif is eventually lured into an exorcism where he gets the whole story, but even though Lakshmi is thrown into a bottle, trapped in a bottle and thrown into the ocean, Asif considers Lakshmi and her friend's plight, and he removes the protective charm which allows Lakshmi to possess him immediately, repossess him immediately. And although Girja and his henchmen are told by a Baba that he is cursed from what he's done, he's told that he can dig up the bodies and burn them at dawn to save himself. However, when they get to the shore, they only find Lakshmi there to scream at them and beat the shit out of them, kill them all with whimsical CGI violence, and make her own assassin stab herself with another world's largest knife. Then all the trans warriors show up to back Lakshmi as she chases Girja. He thinks he's safe in the temple, but Asif takes things into his own hands and he beats the shit out of Girja himself and throws him out of the temple so Lakshmi can then stab him to death with a big fucking trident from an earlier musical number and then throw him in the ocean like she was Poseidon or some shit. Later, it's revealed that Asif has taken up Lakshmi's cause and has built the structures that she was working on and wants to eliminate the ghost of prejudice. And when anyone starts shit, he will let Lakshmi handle it. The end.
When did
I
Asif learn
put
to
it in
kick
order.
ass?
I think he beat that guy up at the beginning, right?
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, there was a guy who was harassing his sister.
I guess just by that point in the movie, we've seen Lakshmi beating up people so much, it's like, well, it's a little jarring when he starts doing it.
I was like, when he grabbed the bad guy and threw him out of the temple with like crazy Bollywood super strength, I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of hoping he was going to be a little more down to earth and like literally drag him out, kicking and screaming, and then Laxmi would do the wacky stuff. But this is Bollywood; everyone has superpowers.
Yeah. I
Did
was like, is he just gonna kill him himself? You know, like Asif did technically murder a bunch of people and get away with it, which is
Yeah,
kind of cool.
let's go. You're allowed
yeah,
to murder trans
yeah, they
folks.
sucked. That's it.
Yeah,
That works in
evil
court, right? They
landlords.
sucked.
Yeah, evil landlords can get murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine
Speaking of the
legally.
clearly.
evil landlord, I kept watching this movie being, what? Isai Morales is in this movie? Oh wait, no, he's not. I just every time I saw that guy, I thought Isai Morales was in this movie for like a split second.
Who's that? Is
Who's
that the
that?
baddie from Mission Impossible?
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly who I kept thinking of.
Hmm.
Ethan!
Yeah, let's see.
His death here wasn't as good though.
No. What did he got? He got the giant crystal skull death. Which one was his death? I did start writing things, but I didn't write which method went with which person. I just wrote things like death by trident.
Oh yeah, he got trident.
Okay.
Yeah. He tridented and he failed.
I'm judge, executioner, and trident. What? I'm just trying to. That doesn't make sense. Sorry, I was
The
trying to
fuck
make
are
That
you
trial
going
and
for
trident.
there?
I was trying to find a way to
that
mix trident with trial, and
I
it doesn't
see.
work well. And I
uh
started from the wrong angle too. You know.
that musical number with the trident was weird in all the right ways, and I loved it.
Yeah.
That was like the last one.
Yeah. And then Dubai, what the hell? So I definitely noticed the 87 different production companies at the beginning of this one. You mentioned that a few weeks ago for
Yeah.
something. And I
It was
can't remember.
for the Bruce Willis one.
Gunday.
Right,
Oh,
right. So
Because
yeah,
it was
and
like
this
a
one
minute 30 before the film started on that.
mhm. And on this one I was just like, oh, so which one was the Dubai one? Because when I'm seeing them all, I didn't know that there was just going to be this weird shoehorn musical number that they had filmed
I
there. I
love
guess you
for
get the
that
tax
musical
credit if you
number, he
film
even
there.
just says to the woman, like, let's go to my dreams. And then they cut to the musical number.
I mean, that's so perfect that's what you want from a Bollywood movie, right? You want it
Yeah.
to just take a weird left swerve into what is this for their musical numbers. And of course the temple one at the end was an absolute banger. It was funny, I'm
Mm.
looking at the wiki here and it's listing the soundtrack and the soundtrack only comes in at 15 minutes. It's four songs of 3 to 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Because it does
so
feel filled with music. It feels like it's got more than 15 minutes of
eh,
Well, there's
music.
also like
I think it was like
the
three
brother
numbers, right?
sings,
Mm,
so like
Yeah.
music is a factor even when it's not a musical number.
yeah, yeah. I guess just because like Hollywood movies or whatever, if the soundtrack comes through, it's like maybe it's got two musical numbers, if that, and it's a 60-minute soundtrack, right?
Yeah, it always frustrated me when I would go see a movie knowing that or whatever, knowing that a song I liked was on the soundtrack and then it sort of wasn't in the movie really.
I discovered a lot
That's
of
more a
songs
problem
I
with
like
me.
from the Transformers soundtrack, but like a lot of them are just in like one guitar riff plays when a car is starting, and that's it. The rest of the song doesn't play.
Were the Schumacher
That
Batmans like the worst of that?
How so?
um
Because is that U2 song even like in the movie?
Mostly they're in the end credits, I think.
Yeah, I guess they're mostly in the end credits. So, mm.
Also, the Transformers, every single film, the album came with like a fairly big band doing a cover of the Transformers theme, and I always get excited, and then it never ended up in the film.
How rude of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess now that you mention it, I don't think there was ever like a scene where the Transformers were going into battle and there was just like badass rock music playing. Like what's up with that?
Because
That should have
they had
happened.
the incredible Steve Jablonsky soundtrack instead.
I mean, that's fine,
The
but I
1985
don't
one kind
know.
of did that like
The
87 times.
1985
If you
one
want that,
was
watch
basically an
85.
Yeah.
album. Yeah, it was a music video, yeah. You could
I
watch it like
that's it.
Metropolis.
Like they actually did that,
I
Mark.
actually I love that movie and I just I wish I didn't feel like the newer ones were trying to like bury it completely.
Oh, well,
Anyway.
you should try being into the comics where they cannot stop themselves from constantly going back to that film. Even in the
Yeah,
80s, they did a weird thing where the cartoon and the comics were separate continuities, but the film happened in both.
that's right. I remember that. I was actually reading those comics in the mid '80s.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I watched the first half of Rise of the Beasts, and the first thing that took me out of it was like, this Notorious B.I.G. song is from 1997, and this takes place in 1993. This film's bullshit.
Yeah, but
And
he came through the transwarp, idiot.
oh yeah, I guess that's possible.
That's a hint that the beasts are
Also,
traveling through time.
Oh,
well, the
very
main
sharp of
thing
them.
is that it was a Beast Wars movie where the Beast characters were like,
It's not a Beast Wars movie. It's a
really,
Transformers movie where they put the Beast Wars in there to get some 90s kids to
yeah,
spend some money.
and they already did that with the one before that. So just like, come on, just let me have some different main characters.
Yeah, I would like an actual Beast Wars movie. That'd be sick. Or as it would be called in Canada, Beasties.
It was one of the best things about the what Age of Extinction was they had like that guy. What was that assassin guy who was just like a separate faction and he was just
Oh yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah.
Like
Lockdown or
just
something.
yeah, like they just let me have some time with the with something that's not like the core Decepticons, the core Autobots, or
Okay, how's this? We get to episode 50, we end Films and Filth, and we finally just do a Transformers podcast.
sure.
And so there's only so many Transformers, though.
There's a whole episode. There's a whole 5 seasons of the cartoon, man.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, good
And
point.
then there's the
dude,
animes. There's Beast Wars. There's a lot of
dude,
Transformers I haven't seen.
there are wild amounts of animated. Like I want to say that what was it, Transformers Energon, where there were like there was a whole continuity of like
There was
Japanese
three anime
made
seasons in
stuff.
a row, and
Uh-huh.
they are separate continuities in Japan, but the English dub like tries to link them.
Yeah.
It's called the
Because
Unicron trilogy by fans.
Transformers Animated was made by some
Yeah, that one's like
American
Teen
studio that
Titans
was
type
By
animation that
somebody.
came out around the film.
I I fell off of that, but there was a but the way that they play that is the Decepticons are all like terrifyingly powerful, and there's just an episode where they're all fighting Starscream and he nearly kills everyone by himself.
Yeah, what they
That
did
was
there, which was
sick.
kind of cool, they haven't done it much elsewhere, is most episodes were not about the Decepticons. Like they would
Yeah,
fight like supervillains and stuff on Earth, and then when the Decepticons showed up, it was a big deal.
that's brilliant. Anyway, Transformers podcast. Maybe
Well,
it's
this is a
coming soon.
trans
Maybe it isn't.
episode, so we can talk
Yeah, yeah.
Transformers.
You're right.
That was on my mind.
Transformers
However, we do have to
representation.
discuss things like
I'm
do
gonna, I'm
people
gonna, I'm gonna use a slur here, not meaningfully. My ex-girlfriend in the UK used to call my Transformers collection my trannies.
okay?
Well,
It's like when that lady saw my apartment once and was like, "Oh, you're a muso." I'm like, what? That was cool.
mm,
Because I had several
that's
instruments hanging
that.
around.
One time I had a girlfriend call me a callous piece of shit.
Hmm.
That's
Many
not
people have called me
nice.
a cunt.
uh,
Uh,
but did
Matt, can you
then?
put a little beep where I said the word?
Oh yeah, sure. Time
I
code.
think people
Okay.
will get what one I was saying.
yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, speaking of old
Um,
girlfriends, did any of them ever put turmeric on themselves? That's not a Western thing, is it?
Were
I
any
feel
of
like you
them
would
ever like
smell that.
23 years younger than you?
No.
Oh,
I
oh
this
yeah,
would be like the
Luke.
equivalent. Yeah, that was weird. That this would be the equivalent of like if I had a friend who was a few years older than me and they had like a 25-year-old daughter and I, like cuz I'm sorry, the dad was not much older than him.
I guess
Yeah,
it's
the
like
boy the he was like a couple years older than my parents, and she's a couple
Hmm.
years younger than me. So
And nobody has a problem with that. I mean,
no.
go figure.
I guess it's like if we remade like I don't know, Billy Madison or something, like Adam Sandler made Billy Madison now and then the actress was still the same age as she was in Billy Madison. It'd be kind of that vibe, right?
But you've got to give props to Roger Moore, who at a certain point when he was making Bond films was just like, no, it's getting too weird that I'm with these young women. And like in one of them, he just like she's like, "Oh, James," and he's like, "Put your clothes back on, love," and carries on with the mission.
Well, I guess for the last three of the Moore films, it was a little he was too old. It was a little weird. He was still playing James Bond, you know.
Yeah,
After Moonraker, it's like, dude, time to pass that baton over.
If I'm reading this correctly, like the guy who played the dad was actually younger than Asif.
that does not surprise me.
If I'm
Daniel
reading this
Craig could have
correctly.
gotten away with playing Bond for another 10 years if he wanted to, though, I think.
I don't think he wanted to
Um,
for the past three films.
No, he did. I'm just talking
yeah.
about like like looking old, right? He seems to
Mm.
be a more like Bondy old, where Roger Moore was not a Bondy old somehow. I guess
Yeah, he aged.
he looks frail, right? Craig still looks like a bit of a tank.
I still wouldn't want to fight
Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, he'll punch
No.
I
a
can't
hole
even
through.
find the dad's actor.
It's just everyone ages differently. Like Timothy Dalton basically immediately started playing like Nazi villains after he was playing James Bond. I think arguably he still looked pretty great like 10 or 15 or 20 years after, but I don't know. I don't know why they stopped using. I like Timothy Dalton as Bond.
I think it was just like in the early 90s. Like, I mean, it seems the franchise just fell apart, right? Because they just didn't make one for like what, 5, 6 years, something like that.
Between
I
Seven.
don't
Dalton
know.
and Brosnan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like maybe they just. I mean, you can't fault them for looking at Pierce Brosnan and be like, this guy looks like James Bond. Let's make him James Bond. But still,
Well, hopefully the next
I
movie's.
He
prefer
was when Dalton was chosen, Brosnan was already in consideration, but it said he was too young.
what the fuck? I clicked on Akshay Kumar's biography. You know, the guy who plays Asif,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he has played James Bond,
Oh, cool.
an Indian
Hell
version of
yeah.
James Bond in a movie called Mr. Bond in 1992,
Ooh.
Kiladi in 1992, Main Kiladi to Anari 1994, Mr. and Mrs. Kiladi 1997, and Kiladi 420 in 1999.
So he made
Okay.
5
So
Bond films.
yeah, within the span of like,
They're
He's played Bond
off-brand
more than
Bond.
Dalton has.
oh my god,
I do want to see him.
dude,
This guy play
this
James Bond.
this this poster, this fucking poster. Oh my god, but how do I put these things in the chat? Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Oh
Okay,
my
I got
god.
it. You're looking at the
You
first
see
one,
it?
right? This is
Yes.
okay. Anyone that's
Mr.
interested, look up the
Bond.
Mr.
I can't
Bond
believe
photo.
it.
It's
Oh, did you put
I
it in the
can't
messenger?
believe this. I'm t-
the
Where
okay.
did you
my
post it? I can't see anything.
I'm trying. I didn't.
Oh, I
I'm trying to
see.
just figure it out,
Matt's
and I'm
just all
like
set up for
laughing
it.
too hard.
I'm just staring at it and not talking. Sorry. And this
Um,
is not James Bond, by the way. Mr. Bond is a dedicated police officer of Bombay's police. He was assigned to a mission to save the children victims of child trafficking. Those small children were abducted and held as hostages by the underworld Don Dragon. So this is Bollywood Sound of Freedom from 1992, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Probably
Hell
has
yeah.
probably has different
He looks
politics in
more
that movie.
Rambo than he does Bond. I mean, they knew what they were doing calling it Bond.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing, but yeah.
I mean, he looks like a backup dancer with a bunch of backup dancers around him for like something from very much 1992.
This
They're
is
like bright green
top
and
five
bright
posters
pink.
ever. So,
This
folks,
is
if you're listening,
amazing.
look it up, you know?
Bro, I'm watching this.
Yeah, why that we should have seen that instead of Laxmii.
Mr.
Should we
Bond full
just
movie 1992 is on YouTube.
All right.
can we just start a Bollywood podcast where we just like follow these
We almost
just follow
accidentally
the
have at
links?
this point.
We just like go from one tangent to like follow a tangent to another film each week. It's
Just like this movie does.
yeah. I mean, this definitely. I don't know, man. Honestly, I enjoyed this. I hope I'm not like a piece of shit for enjoying this movie, but
Okay, so I'm literally watching Mr. Bond right now, and he's fighting ninjas in a flooding car park. Oh, the ninjas are on motorbikes, by the way.
Ooh, yeah.
that's
Okay.
amazing.
Anyway, well, we'll be meeting Mr. Bond soon, I guess.
Who the hell knows?
Because yeah, not
Uh,
knowing the actor, and let's get his name, Ashke Kumar, not knowing him,
yeah.
I in my notes, it is interesting. You said people were kind of like, oh, he's not as good as usual in this, because I did write in my notes, I can't tell if he's really good or really bad a few times.
Well, we can let IMDb decide. Let's see. He's an actor in 184 things, including it looks like
He could be a
about
good actor in bad
10
movies, though.
12 things that are in pre-production, 15. He's going to be in Crack, which is in pre-production. Okay, I'm just going to start saying numbers. 4.2,
Oh,
4.8,
great.
8.1, 7.0, 5.3, 7.0, 6.8, 7.3, 5.2, 6.8. You know, that's okay.
I was
Some of the
about to put the
music
buzzer on
videos.
you, by the way. I was going to go, "Brr," but then you stopped, so.
Can you do that?
I already forgot every number you said as well, so that's fine. They really were just
Yeah, of
numbers.
course, I didn't listen to any of that. Why would I?
He was in Toilet, a love story.
Ooh, that doesn't sound as appealing as Mr. Bond, but for me, maybe it does. Maybe for you, I don't
Um,
know.
I'm gonna be honest. Like the poster for this makes it look like a Wes Anderson film, and
Yeah,
it looks
okay.
serious. It looks serious. So I'm like very confused. 7.1. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, do you guys notice the American release for Laxmi?
no.
It's it's technically a Disney film in the States. Disney released
Oh
it
yeah,
in
Disney.
America.
Disney Hotstar is the which by the way, Disney, you cowards, every Disney channel should be called Disney Hotstar because that's a way better fucking name than Disney Plus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are downgrading the names as much as we can, right?
Yeah, it
Or
was
we
HBO, went to HBO Max, switched to Max, and I was back to HBO Max.
Oh, okay. So we hit the nadir. We're
Yeah,
rising
yeah,
up
we're
again.
going
We
back
got
up
our
again
hot
now.
stars, and we get to say HBO again. Okay, got you.
It's
Yeah, films are gonna have
it's really
cool names again now.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
the letter X has kind of been tarnished lately, and it's a good idea to take it out of your brand.
Oh,
Unless you're
Laxmii
begging for
has
the
it real
X.
big in the poster. Oh, okay. That's why we were so confused getting into this movie too, because the poster is Laxmi Bomb. Okay.
Was it? Did that confuse
It's
you?
also the poster has two M's and one I
Oh
instead of
yeah.
one M and two I's.
Right.
Because
Which
I
one's
think you were
correct?
But
confused.
I
You
think
called
that's
it
probably
Laxmill.
Oh yeah, that's how I wrote it on the
Laxmi
list.
Bomb is like the Revenge of the Jedi.
Hmm.
Because once they take the bomb out, they also change the spelling of Laxmi.
Ah, okay, there we go. So yeah, anyway, it did confuse us coming into this a bit. So
So at
yeah.
no point in this film does any bomb explode.
I think
Doesn't
Laxmi herself
I
is
know
kind of the
she is the
bomb.
bomb, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like in X-Men when
um
they had the Jean bomb. It was a bunch of Jean Grey clones.
Mm.
there's an interesting poster that looks a lot like one of the posters for Insidious, which by the way, this I'm pretty sure that the original one. Wait,
Did you
Insidious
open the
Part
red
Two.
door?
Have you seen Insidious Part Two?
No,
I've
I
only
just know
seen
there's red
Insidious 1.
doors
I
that
thought
you
it was
open or you
mid.
don't open.
Insidious Chapter 2, I'm going to spoil it. Oh, it came out actually after the movie that Lakshmi was a remake of.
Mm.
But I'm going to spoil it right now, and it's not very good. But
Mm.
the big twist is that the lady that you see in the first movie that's the evil ghost is actually a man who wears women's clothing because that's a plot twist. And
Mm.
I think that's kind of bullshit. And it's not treated with any type of respect at all. So,
It's technically a psycho ending, kind of.
yeah, I guess. So yeah, that makes it's derivative and it's shitty.
Whereas I did not think of Psycho watching this, so yeah, there we go.
No.
I mean, why would you?
I mean, you don't even need to see the end of Insidious, really. It's just like two-thirds of a good movie.
Well, I think we've discussed how many horror the horror movies I watch are the ones that occasionally show up on this list. So I will be
I'm like,
watching. I am looking forward to watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation. So don't get me wrong, but
this is probably the best horror movie we've watched for this podcast, aside from like The Shining, and it's
yeah,
not
I'll
as good
say
as Texas
Shining's a
Chainsaw.
pretty good.
I said aside from. I said
Yeah.
aside from.
And Alien.
Okay, and
Hmm?
Aliens. We haven't seen Alien yet,
Oh
but
yeah, we haven't done
Oh yeah,
Alien.
you're right. We
Aliens
did Aliens.
still better than
Me and
this.
Matt did Alien for the previous.
I don't think Aliens counts. Does that count as horror? I'm
No,
gonna
I
say
was getting
no.
confused because we did Alien for Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
I
Oh
like
yeah.
Alien better.
Oh yeah, because we had all that like mid 2000 horror garbage with The Fog and the Wickerman
Yeah,
remake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bad list horror movies are like some of the films I've judged the most
Piranha
harshly.
3DD was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Is that
But
horror? I guess that's more
I
of a
think
shark film.
I might like this better because that was sort of like a lesser version of a better horror film, and this is
Mm.
like this is very much its own thing. I don't know if we'll see anything else like this, and we certainly haven't seen anything like this. I haven't seen anything like this before. I don't think I've even seen like a
Well, we'll
Bollywood
see
horror
what
movie.
Tease Marcon is. That sounds like another Bollywood one on
It's
the
Turkish,
list. Turkish. Oh, we've just had this discussion. You're right.
and
And
we're
these
having it
Batur
again.
might also be Turkish then.
I don't know.
We'll see how the Turks do it, you know? They're higher on the bad list.
It looks good.
I mean,
I don't know if
I've
that means
watched Turk.
anything. I'm
Well,
wondering about that now.
no, I mean I've watched Turkish
Seems like they're
Batman and
all over
Turkish
the
Star
place.
Trek and Turkish Superman. I've watched these things.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
amazing.
Turkish Star Wars. Turkish Star Wars is very close to watchable.
Yeah, these things are watchable. It's like, yeah, in a weird way. And so is this. Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, this is more just entertaining than say witness for the prosecution, right? Which
Maybe.
was entertaining. I'm not trying to slam the movie. I'm just that movie.
I
I'm just
don't
saying
know.
that this is more on the surface, just entertaining.
Yeah, it's just it's fun. I didn't really feel even though the yeah, I had trouble fitting it into my schedule because of its length, but I didn't think to myself, man, this is so long because it does do that swerve where it gives you all the story, the backstory at the end. So it's like this nice change up where you're like, oh yeah, it didn't feel long.
Well, fortunately missed my train yesterday, and so I had an hour to sit at the station and finish this film.
Ah, that,
I mean, fortunately might be the wrong word, but yeah.
Watch
well, I mean, I really have been putting video game time aside to watch things for
Laxmii.
podcasts. Watch Laxmii. Yeah, I really wanted to play more Hades 2 after the newest patch, but
No, I just make the mistake of watching them the night before. I wake up early. I could watch them in the morning too, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should sleep on a movie before I talk about it. Is that weird?
it's not weird. I
Mm,
I I feel a little bit guilty every time I'm finishing something at the last minute, like
mm.
no matter what reason it is.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. Oh, another cultural thing. I do we trust our local shaman this much? I guess people trust
No.
ministers and stuff in the West.
In
So
ghost stories, you do, yeah.
yeah, okay, and ghost stories you do. I just wanted to throw out the weird shaman angles or what is it, the Baba or whatever. And
Baba.
yeah,
It
and there's like an evil
it
one
was yeah.
and a large one.
It's very interesting how like it feels like we got a peek into like a rich universe full of different Babas. Like they all have
There's the
different
West. Well, I guess
motivations.
yeah, he did make his India movie, but he did make one with a bunch of competing holy men in India.
Well,
Wes
wait,
Anderson could
who?
do that. I was thinking
Wes
Wes
Anderson?
Anderson. Yeah,
Oh,
he already did his
oh, Wes
Indian film,
Anderson.
but
You think he should make like a sequel to the Darjeeling Limited with just full of like Babas all competing with each
well, it
other?
could be a completely different movie. That's why I brought up that one because I'm like, no, I don't want to cross the streams with that one. I'm talking about doing something different, man.
I keep seeing things about how bad that movie is, and I feel like
What
maybe I
movie?
should rewatch it. The Darjeeling
I
Limited.
love that
People
movie.
people don't think it's kind of racist,
I'll
which
give my
I'm not
okay. I'll
spending
give
on
my
that.
father's review of that movie, which I think is helpful. He says it's a movie about three perfect assholes.
Yeah, I mean Wes Anderson is an unappreciated like capturer of assholes. He knows how to write assholes that you don't hate, which is quite a skill.
Hmm. So there we go. Okay, I'm just
There we
looking through
go.
my notes, and if there's any other, is six unlucky for in Hindi? I don't know. It seems six is unlucky.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah,
Okay,
like
because four is unlucky in Japan, right? So I just was wondering if six has a thing
I've been
there.
doing a lot of reading about like trans rights in India, and
Hmm.
I was once again reminded that the concept of there being more than two genders is very old and established in East Asia. Um, and like, yeah, it's not a new thing, it never has been. And also, like, yeah, they have way, at least in law, I'm sure it's not necessarily true in practice, but in law, trans people are protected way better in India than they are in Britain or America.
When the dialogue of this movie, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, there's men, there's women, there's other stuff." Like that, no one is really saying like there isn't other
Hmm.
stuff in this movie, you know. So that's I guess a cultural positive. I mean, women's rights in India aren't always doing so well, but in that
Ooh.
regard, just the fact that you would spit out just like, yeah, there's as many genders as you need.
It's kind of I don't know. I don't want to say charming, but it's like this thing where it clearly the movie clearly is like, well, if you're trans or effeminate, that in the world of this film, it's like people kind of clutch their pearls, and like Asif is like all prancing around, but nobody like attacks him except for I guess his father-in-law slaps him. But then we get that callback where he keeps talking about how Asif slapped him back,
It
or
really
Lakshmi
have
did.
you guys seen How Can She Slap?
No.
I guess no.
It's a clip from an Indian game show where they've got like the woman who gets all up in their face and she slaps the guy
Yeah.
and then just instinctively he slaps her back and then the whole like staff starts swarming him and he's going, "How can she slap? How can she slap me, sir?" And
Have you seen that?
it's a very amusing clip, but
Man, have you
I don't know
seen
how
that
much I'm
that
laughing at the situation, how much I'm just laughing at the accent. So maybe it's not good to
yeah.
bring it up.
have you seen this Switch game, or I guess it's a collection of games called the Rose and Camellia Collection,
Nope.
where like I guess the whole thing is you're two women and you're holding like the Joy-Con and you're just slapping each other. You're just like just doing this to each other with a Joy-Con, and your characters are slapping each other on screen. And I think that's like the whole thing. It's like a visual novel where you slap each other.
Of
Hmm.
course, we had such wonderful slapping in the Master of Disguise a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's true because it was what PG
PG, yeah,
rated
yeah,
or
we've had a lot
PG.
of
Yeah,
slappy movies recently, haven't we? Bad list of
it's
slapping, y'all.
time honored tradition. You know, it's
Like
it,
sumo.
it it reads really well. Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't like it in sumo because that one guy recently they're like, sumo don't like him because he slaps everyone.
I mean, what's the name of E Honda's move that's like thousand hands, or it's just like him literally slapping you over and over?
I think it's literally a thousand hand slap.
Nice. I was like, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but basically for the first 5 years that Street Fighter 2 existed, all I would do is pick E Honda and just do that until I got
Hmm.
beaten.
I don't think I picked E Honda that much. Now I have to look and see who I usually picked. Okay.
I was just a shithead kid and was like, well, clearly this is the biggest guy, so this is who I should pick. I didn't learn any of this other stuff. Like he can basically fly across the screen, do all this awesome sick shit, and then nope, 100 hand
Well,
slap.
my version of that was what Killick and Soul Calibur, wasn't it?
I guess so, yeah.
You remember that,
But
right?
that's probably a lot harder to pull off. I feel like Street Fighter is much friendlier to button mashing and spamming than Tekken or Soul Calibur
Oh,
because those.
knocking people in the crotch with a stick and calling it a donger. That was practiced. Yes, of
But
course.
you can dodge though. You can literally three-dimensionally dodge people in that game.
Right. But yeah, yeah. Uh do you want to start talking about if this one is film or filth? I mean, if people have other points, we can get to it, but I'd roll the ball in that direction. Honestly, yeah, take the musical numbers, take the fight scenes, stick them together. That's a pretty good film right there for
Um,
me.
like this is the Bollywood film we've watched, which felt the most like a Hollywood movie, three act structure. Even the way it was shot felt, apart from the musical numbers themselves, felt quite close to a modern Hollywood film. Not in good and bad ways.
Yeah,
Like it felt very
I,
clean and bland at times as well. Maybe because it was
I
being,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like I'm sure there are some things that the movie that it remade did better. Like I skimmed it so quickly, but for one thing, when the Lakshmi character in the other movie got killed, she was stabbed with a sick looking ceremonial dagger, and this was literally like a CGI gigantic kitchen knife. Like which is, you know, I guess it's funny. I don't know. It was really sad and absurd scene. That like scene where they all got killed was just so weird. It was, but it was weird. I had to kind of love it because it was so weird, but it was also just sad and tonally fucked up. And that might be something people hate about it.
Yeah, I was looking through most of these are bad listers, right? We had the Three Idiots, Boggy Three. We what was the other one? We just did Gunday, and all of them are
Gunday.
pretty memorable movies.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
So
funny. Yeah, I feel like I got more out of this than a lot of the good list movies,
yeah.
which is hilarious. It's like it's not perfect, but it's like I I feel like it's really watchable, and I don't think I would have pissed anybody off if I was like, "Hey, let's put this on." If I took this to anybody else, so
Mm. The only reason I'm like hesitant to watch more Bollywood stuff is that they're all so long.
That is one of
yeah.
the issues. I agree.
Well, you can take all the time you save from TV shows only being 6 episodes every 2 years and invest it into Bollywood movies. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I'm just gonna play more
It,
video
it
games, I
could.
think.
I'm pretty sure that if we did a deep dive and just watched Bollywood movie after Bollywood movie, like the formula would start. Because it's already
Yeah, they're
aside
good as
from
like a little treat here and there, I think.
the bad list American films are really starting to wear on me. Like that's the main problem with this podcast is like I'm okay with like obviously most foreign films are on bad list for kind of wild, like out of nowhere left field reasons, and that makes it interesting. And of
Mm.
course, good movies are good, but like when American movies are on here because it's like Adam Sandler produced something that isn't funny, that's the bugaboo for me. But this is, you know, breaking it up with these every once in a while. Even, Smolensk gave us stuff to talk about. It was I don't think that there are a lot of that. I'm not going to see a lot of that, you know.
I'm looking
I
at the
don't think there
Street
is a
Fighter
lot of
2
that.
characters. I think I was just a smattering of everywhere the first 5 years of Street Fighter, just to get back to that. I think I used Blanca a lot though, because it made me feel a little bit like it was
Oh,
the Hawk.
it's funny because I never used Ken or Ryu because to me the Dragon Punch didn't make sense. I was but he's like they're punching straight up and like the elbow is hitting them because he's like it doesn't make any sense. So I was like, how could I hurt them by hitting them by with my elbow?
I always used Ken because I thought Ryu looked too generic.
The difference is I think Ken has that cool like thing where he grabs you and throws you,
I think
does
in
a
Street
roll.
Fighter 2 they were basically the same because it was
Yeah, they're
before
pretty
you
much.
could have mirror matches, so they put in a clone of the main guy. But as over
Maybe,
time they've gotten more different, I think.
but I think Street Fighter One you could beat either
No
of
one's ever
them, so
played
maybe
Street
that was the
Fighter
same
1.
thing.
Street Fighter, I
I've
still
played
don't believe
it.
Street Fighter 1 exists.
It's not good. It's not fun. I played the version where it has those pads. You know what I'm talking about? There's like the first version of that had like pads that you would punch them and like you hit them like soft for soft and medium for medium and hard for hard. And it ends up like hurting your hand and you never do what you mean to do. So like you can totally see why they took them off the market. Like it doesn't work, but it's interesting.
Okay, this is weird. Sorry, I just
Hmm.
started looking at the 10-star reviews. And the one at the top says, Love acting of Ash K. Kumar in this film. And then the review from 2023 seems to be about the Bruce Willis film from a few weeks ago. Breach, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Breach.
somebody got wasted and just randomly reviewed the wrong thing.
Yeah, but then the title is still Love acting of Ash K. Kumar in this movie. This is special. 2 minutes in, something felt wrong. I'd press play because I like sci-fi and I like Bruce at 24 minutes. I came in to make sure I wasn't alone thinking what the actual F. I think the BBC must have found the old sets from Red Dwarf and saw it because it starts in. Why the hell would you have a cleaning product on a spaceship that is not diluted can illegally leak through? This is so weird. It's a review of that of Breach.
I think these are bots, dude. You're finding bot reviews at this point.
Okay.
I found more than one 10-star reviews that are actually bad negative reviews.
Ah,
Uh,
interesting. This is a nice film.
okay,
AK doing what he doing previous film. Nice film, fully entertaining with good massage of society, except Kinner and people who this is Hindu phobia's false. First you seen this film as AK work style, which doing previous film he not done any partiality. Okay, me think good here.
okay. Fantabulous, light comedy, full entertainment, must-watch movie. 0 out of 1 found that helpful.
Hmm. How many? Three found the one I just read helpful.
Fantabulous.
Somebody
I
found
know
that
I'm looking at the
helpful.
bottom like I do. I like
Oh,
looking at the
okay. You're
bottom.
going straight for the least help for you. Okay.
Okay, best ever. Very truthful. Bollywood did it again. Very realistic and based on truth. 0 of 3 found that helpful.
Very realistic and based on truth.
Yep. I mean, I don't know the part where like where Lakshmi was trying to like help people and start a community center, and then people took her fucking land and murdered her. It's like, sadly,
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
know.
real.
That might not be accurate, but it's like
It's not based on
metaphorically
a true
accurate.
story, but it's based on. It might not be literally true, but it is emotionally true.
Yeah, yeah. There is a lot of emotionally true stuff in this, and I don't feel like Asif was like kind of was a dickhead aside from maybe his wife was a little young, but it was cool watching him just be like, you know what? Like, fuck it. I'm gonna do the revenge. I'm gonna let this ghost go get revenge using my body. I mean, I don't know. If that doesn't say woke, then I don't know what does.
Here's another one. Excellent movie, excellent acting by Ash K. Sir. Best movie you should watch. Many peoples have not seen the movie and give negative review. Even many peoples have been rated negative review before release the movie. I feel like I'm just doing the data meme over and over. The data lore one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it feels
Okay,
like.
here we go. A perfect tribute to the transgender society. I am seeing a lot of negativity around this movie because of some propaganda spread by some jobless bigots. Anyway, they are nobody. This movie is a really good movie. Enjoyed a lot. Four
Okay.
out of
Short
18 found that
reviews. No,
helpful.
no one really goes
But
rambling for this. The
that
most
is
ramble
clearly
was when
someone
they were talking about
who
the Bruce
speaks
Willis
English.
film. That was the longest one.
Yeah.
Also, just
Uh,
amazing that's there. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Best funny movie Aki did. This film single-handedly offended acting, writing, direction, Bollywood, original Chana, liberals, right-wing, left-wing, centrist, critics, Indians, Canadians, males, females, elders, children, Muslims, Hindus, etc. Better watch original again. The high writing I gave was to drag your attention. I am neither Aki fan nor insane.
Hmm. So you just said a bunch of
One
words
out of
though.
two people found that helpful. I
You
think they were trying to make a point and they failed.
both of us are just saying well I am I. We're just saying words now. I guess it's time to stop.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're like, we sound uncertain on whether you should watch this or not, like,
We're uncertain of whether
give it
you
a,
should watch this or not. I
we're
don't
uncertain of whether you should watch this or
know.
not. If, um, give it a shot if you are not offended by,
I
I
don't
can't
know
even say
what.
that. I don't know I don't know what to say. We support the trans community and we support them getting revenge on landlords. That's what I say.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hell yeah.
I thought you no, now he's drinking water. I thought he was just going to keep going. So I guess it's my job. If you do dig us not knowing what we're talking about, we do a lot of podcasting at podcastios.org. I just finished talking about the Twilight Zone over at Time Enough Podcast. Mark and I are talking about Severance over at Imprison of the Severance Prison or the contest, the podcast. I can't talk anymore. I've lost it. And Luke over there talks. He loves Pokemon. Talks that up. Monster Mash. Game
Hmm.
show. It's all there.
I honestly thought I felt pretty clever for drinking water and making you do that, but then you messed it up, so I felt less
And I
clever.
called you out. That's what happened.
Yep, that messed you up.
Bye.
All right.
I'm just gonna let that be a final buy.
Yep.
By the by. Okay.
By
I
the
will
by.
stop the recording.